guys, welcome back to my channel. It's MissyMaroon here, and today I'm going to talk to y'all about what you need to know about perms. So, as some of you might know, I have a perm, and sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I just ran upstairs. What was that laugh? Anyways, so I have a perm. Now, my hair does not look very permy because my perm didn't take very well, and I will get to that later. But some fun things you might want to know about perms is that, first of all, when people hear about perms, they imagine this really big, super tight curled hair from like the 80s or whatever, and there's like, and I mean, part of me kind of really wants that, but that's not the look that everybody is going for with their hair today. Now, also people might think, oh, chemical treatments like that could be really bad for your hair, and it really can be. So you need to make sure you have healthy hair before you go get a perm. And I actually, here I have my little list of videos I'm uploading. At the end of July, I'm going to be uploading a video about how to cut heat out from your hair care routine, and that'll obviously lead to healthier hair. But so with perms, they are very different from what people think, actually. Sorry, I have an itchy nose. There are, I think, 9 different types of perm and stuff where they have like names for them or whatever, but you know, you can just talk to the person. My biggest tip for you before you get a perm is to look online for pictures of people with curly hair and to look for different styles of curly hair. If you see like on TV someone whose hair you really like and it's kind of like curly and stuff, even if it's just a little bit wavy, take pictures of that, send it to a hairstylist that you know does perms, that you know has experience with perms. I would not suggest going to someone where you would be their first perm client, because this could end very badly. But go to someone with experience, someone who's done different types of perms, and show them the pictures and they'll tell you if those curls are realistic or not. And this is something that might come as a little bit of a surprise to some of y'all, but not all perm, like you can't get all the different types of curl and wave that with a perm that you might see on different people. And for me, I luckily chose inspiration pictures that were very doable, and because I was braiding my hair like every night already, I kind of knew what I wanted my hair to look like, and I told you I wanted a combination of some looser waves and my tighter waves that I get like when I braid my hair and stuff. And so what we decided to do, well, what she decided to do, and I said, okay, is we were going to do tighter on top and then looser at the bottom. And this is a great tip, is to just have different variations of curls throughout your hair, because then it's not all going to look uniform and it's not all going to be bland and blend in and just not look as good. It looks better when there is texture and slightly different styles to your hair, but it also look pretty coherent and not like, why do you have like really tight ringlets on top and really long beach waves at the bottom? Like, you know, you need it so it works together and it blends. And so that's one of my tips. Also, besides looking for pictures, is to also think long and hard about if you really want a perm, because if perms work for you, then they should work, well, they can work from up to, what was it, like 1.5 months, because you can get like really loose perms at the bottom of your hair and stuff. I think I read that's what Princess Kate Middleton, I read that's what she does with her hair. She gets really loose perms at the bottom just so that she has that curl that is very effortless and looks very nice. So you can get that, and that'll only last you about 1.5 months. But you can also get ones where it's more of like what I did, where it's all over curl and you do like smaller curls, and those are going to last you, they can last at least 3 months. And so this is a bit of a big thing. Also, perms cost a lot of money, especially depending on how much hair you have. Now, while I have very like thin hair with bouts of thick hair, and whenever I find my thick hairs, I'm like, yes, thick hair and stuff, but I have a ton of hair. And it's like the lady, when she was dyeing my hair, Allison, she went through 3 tubes of hair dye, and she was worried that she was gonna run out of hair dye. So yeah, like I have a lot of hair, and because of that, if I were to go to a regular salon, it would have cost upwards of like $300, I want to say. And when we went to her, she did it for like $200. But because my first perm didn't take, she went back with a stronger perm and did it over again. We went for slightly tighter curls, and she did that one for free. That was really nice of her. She also dyed my hair for free, which is so nice of her. But yeah, so perms can cost a lot of money, and they could last for a while. So it's something where you need to know that you're going to like it. And when I say last, it means that, like, this part of your hair, like the main body of hair, will probably keep that perm and that curl and stuff for, like, until it grows out. But you'll have roots that are growing in, just as if you were to dye your hair, and they won't have that perm. They won't have that instant curl. Also, something to note is that every time you perm your hair, the perm gets stronger and it gets better at adapting to your hair, and your hair becomes more used to the perm. And I'm really hoping that when I get a perm refresh in like a couple of months, probably around September, that my hair will take it this time. And now I've been talking about, like, mentioning this a lot the past couple of minutes about how my hair did not take its perm. This, like, all braids I have, not braids, all curls I have are from braids. I braid my hair every night. I do 2 French braids down the side of my head, and, like, I don't need to do it every night anymore because of getting the perm. But yeah, my perm did not take. I have strangely resilient hair, because my hair in all other ways is perfect for perms because it's thinner, and just the texture of it, and we know it takes chemical treatments well because of me dyeing my hair. I've been dyeing my hair since I was in 4th grade. However, the perm for some reason just did not work on it, and the first time we did it, we used a just regular, like, perm solution and stuff, and I had some residual hair dye left in, and we just permed it, and it started falling out, like, that day. It's really sad. And then I went back a couple weeks later, and we had stripped out as much of the hair dye as we could, although it still looked like I did not have my natural hair color and stuff. But we stripped out as much hair dye as we could. Anything that was left was, like, stains or whatever. And then we went in with a stronger perm solution. We did tighter curls, and my perm fell out like a day or 2 after I washed it and stuff, and washed the solution out after waiting almost 3 days to wash my hair and stuff. And so it was really weird. We don't understand it, but when I braid my hair now, it holds the curl a lot longer and stuff, like almost a day and a half, whereas before it would, like, my hair would hold this wavy curly thing for like 2 classes, and then it was done. It would be like this awkward mix of straight and not straight, and yeah. But now my hair holds curls better, and so that's pretty nice. And so that's also, that brings me back to another point, is that if you do chemical treatment on chemical treatment, like if you were to dye your hair and then go in and get a perm, your perm would less likely be able to take, because it would have to break through the hair dye and all of that coating on your hair, and so it probably wouldn't do as good of a job. What I would recommend, and what I've heard hairstylists recommend, is to get the perm first after, like, your hair has calmed down with the hair color. Like, if you dyed it months ago, then it should be good, and then wait a little bit, then get your hair re-dyed. That way you keep the perm and you can get your color as well without having to trade and give one up. Another thing is I use this Sebastian whipped cream. This is what it looks like. I'm all out of it. I need more. And this is a light conditioning style whip. So it's mousse that you put in your hair, and I always put it in and I scrunch it. I just put it at the bottom, and then I scrunch my hair when it's wet and I've gotten out of the shower. And this helps me get, like, that curl, like, almost instantly when I get out of the shower, not out of my hair. But yeah, so I get out of the shower and I put this in. I brush it through my hair first, and then I would put that in, and I would towel off my hair, and I use a lot of scrunching motions, and my hair would get that wave, although as it would dry it would straighten out a little bit more. That's why I do braids. But so that's another great thing, and this is pretty cheap. I found a thing of this on Amazon where it was 3 for, I think, like, it was either $6 or maybe $19. I know that's the price difference, but I can't remember because I also found this individually at Ulta. I just remember that it was cheaper to buy all three online than it was to go and buy it individually at Ulta, which is interesting, but yeah. So I would suggest investing in a mousse like this for your hair just to help it keep that curl. You can also find shampoos that are made for curly hair and they help like control curl a little bit more, and they also keep that curl in. Also, using shampoos and conditioners that are sulfate free really helps, and this just helps with everything in your hair, whether it just be for overall health of your hair and then also for keeping color in your hair or keeping a perm in your hair. I should probably invest in sulfate free shampoo, but right before I got my first perm, I got this giant thing of shampoo from L'Oreal, and yeah, I didn't feel like returning it, and because I probably couldn't even return it, so I didn't feel like splashing out on sulfate-free shampoo when I had a whole new thing. But yeah, sulfate-free shampoo and conditioner is really good for your hair on all counts. What else is there to say? Perms will usually not turn out like you imagined, because you can get pretty close with if you get inspiration pictures for it and your hairstylist can talk about it, but all perms turn out differently for different people and different styles of hair, and depending on how much chemical treatments you've been using on it, how much, if you've permed your hair before and stuff. But yeah, so it's not always going to turn out exactly how you imagine. So I would say to think long and hard about it. Like, I started wanting to get a perm back in October, and I didn't get one until spring break, which was in, I want to say March. So yeah, I had to wait a while to get a perm and stuff, and to really think about it and know that that's what I wanted to do, and to find the right person for it. Shoot, what else is there? Oh yeah. So when you have a perm, your hair is going to take longer to dry also. That's another thing that I didn't know until before I got my perm, which, I mean, my hair already takes hours to dry just because it's, like, I have surprisingly healthy hair for all the chemical treatments I've done on it. But, yeah, so it takes my hair hours to dry, especially because I don't use heat on my hair. And so when you get a perm, your hair is going to take forever to dry. At first, it might dry up really quickly because your hair might become a little bit unhealthy, and so then it'll need that extra moisture. But for the most part, it's going to take hours to dry. So you can use different ways of drying your hair. In a video I'm going to do in a couple weeks, like I told y'all, about how to cut heat out from your hair care routine or whatever. I will show you a method of drying your hair effectively without heat. And this is what I learned when I was getting my perm. Allison told me about it. I was like, yes, Allison. And also with perms, oh yeah, you need to get your hair cut more frequently when you get a perm. So like when I get back from Utah, I'm gonna have to get my hair cut and stuff, and yeah. So it's just, it used to be that I would get a haircut at most 3 times a year, and now I'm probably going to have to get a haircut at least 4 times a year. So just because your hair is going to dry out a little bit more easily, and it's going to die a little bit more because it's a harsh chemical treatment. So also a way to test your hair to see if it's healthy or not, and I would hope the person who's perming your hair would test this before and go over it and tell you whether or not your hair is healthy enough to be able to really do a perm. But if not, a way to test it is, first of all, how quickly does your hair dry after you take a shower? If you just let it naturally dry, maybe towel it off a little bit. And then also another way to do that, if you don't want to take the time to really measure that and record that, is to fill a cup with water and take just a little bit of hair, like about this much hair, and put it in the water and see if it floats or if it sinks. If it sinks, that means your hair is not healthy and it's trying to absorb as much of that water as it can. But if it floats, then that means it's healthy and it doesn't need that moisture in that water, so it's just hanging out on top. So yeah, that's a fun trick I learned. And yeah, so just make sure you have really healthy hair before you go and get a perm. Think about it, find inspiration pictures, and take them to the person who you're going to get the perm from. Make sure the person has experience working with perms before, and I would honestly say to think about it a lot. But if you do get a perm and if it works out for you, then perms are great. I really do enjoy having a perm and being able to have my hair stay wavy and curly longer. I really like it, and I really want to get another perm refresh in a couple months. And me and Allison have talked about it, and she said that it'll probably, like, it should take the perm a lot better this time, and then I won't have to, like, do as much to take care of the perm and make sure it stays as permy. But yeah, that's all I have to say about perms. If you have any other questions, if I didn't answer any questions that you have, then feel free to leave it in the comments down below. I will be able to respond to your comments for another week, but then after that I'm going to be gone in Utah and I won't be able to respond to them until August. But yeah, so make sure to leave them down below, and I will see you guys later this week. Goodbye!